It was an evolution for me. A lot of people always say, I was born and I wanted to do this. For me, one huge factor, I've always loved people, like talking to people. Second factor is I do like weather. I wasn't necessarily quite interested in the mechanics of it all, but definitely I wanted to know why it snowed, or if it was going to snow a lot so I could go skiing up in the mountains. And it was sort of a hobby kind of thing that I fell into. Then when I got to college, after changing my majors about 7 times, I fell in love with photojournalism and my camera. And believe it or not, that led to me taking a videography class, which led to just trying out videography at a journalism class called Campus Report. Did that for a couple semesters, and I thought I was going to be a photographer, and all of a sudden I kind of liked writing. And then I sort of liked getting in front of the camera and telling the story myself. I wanted control of that. I felt like just shooting it, editing it wasn't enough, that sometimes I'm the only one that can do this story justice. So I took a class, and that led to getting an internship. And then right around your senior year, you start wondering, oh my gosh, I'm going to graduate. I got to make money. What am I going to do? I can get a job doing this as a photojournalist. And so I did a little reporting, mostly photography, for this station, and it led to my first job as a photographer. Morning show. I wake up early in the morning, try to get to bed around 9. 10 o'clock sometimes is kind of late. Some people have to do 7 o'clock, but I just can't. I take a nap in the afternoon. So I get to bed around 10, wake up about 3 o'clock in the morning. Morning show, you have to wake up and just get out that door. You can't afford... At least I don't wake up at 2 or 1 o'clock so I can relax like most people do before they go to work. I'm up right at 3. Try to get out that door by about 3:30. Here at the station, no later than 4. I have so much, a big long list of stuff that I have to accomplish when I get here before we even do the show. I have to do radio weather, update internet sources, sometimes Facebook, along with many graphics for the show, depending on what happened the night before. You can either meet the photographer out there, or you come into the station, you get everything ready, and then you head out with your photographer. You go on location. You need to be prepped. You need to know, who are you interviewing? Where are you going? Why are you going there? You sort of have to have a purpose for doing everything. If you don't, then it's just going to do a live shot for the sake of it, and that doesn't usually work out. So you get prepped and you try to read about if it's a cause or it's an event that's going on. And then you get out there, and you just have to realize that everything's completely unpredictable and can completely change on you. If you think it's going to be stable like the studio, it's completely different. You have to adapt. You go out there, all of a sudden the shot that you pictured is completely different. Instead of being in an open park, you're back up against a wall, or you're by a playground. And then, who am I going to interview? I have to get people. Hopefully you can work with your producer and she'll get you some good interviews, along with doing weather out there too. So you really have to think on different levels to be able to pull it off, to make it look like it's been planned 10 weeks ahead, which a lot of times are not. It's the night before, they send you out there, do it, and make it look good. All I can think of is multi. I don't know what comes after that. Multimedia, multitask, multi-technology. You have to be good at everything. 10, 20 years ago, you could be good at just photography. You could be good at editing. You could be good at just writing, and you got paid for those individual jobs. Now it's sort of everyone's becoming a hybrid. You're a photographer, you're an editor, you're a reporter. So when you go into this business, you really have to think in terms of, I have to do everything. In many ways, I think it's a lot easier for kids coming out of college now, because they're sort of raised in that generation. They're cutting videos in high school and posting them on YouTube of them skateboarding, and they don't even have a journalism class. They're just having fun with it. For us, it's pretty complicated. So for people that have been in the business a little bit longer, like I have, it is difficult, because your boss is saying, hey, we need you to learn how to edit on computer. Well, some kids are just buying the program and just learning how to do it themselves and making just great TV at home. Always learn to adapt. It's brand new to you. You're going to learn it your way. And I think those that don't have that, they have such a hard time moving on in time. The guy that used to make joysticks for the Atari games is out of a job now. The guy that does the old Xbox games, is out of a job. Unless they were the people that adapted, and when the new technology came in, they embraced it. Adapt. You have to learn to adapt.